Someone needs to explain what exactly possessed Ace Green to wake up one morning and decide to absolutely destroy the most beloved couple from Love Island USA Season 7. We're talking about Nicolandria. That's Nic Vansteenberghe and Olandria Carthen, for anyone who somehow missed the magic, and the calculated attack that's been brewing behind the scenes since the villa doors closed. From Ace's shocking interview where he straight up claimed Nic confessed there's zero romantic spark between him and Olandria, to Taylor Williams conveniently staying silent while his former villa ally does all the dirty work, this entire situation reeks of jealousy and coordinated sabotage. The Love Island fandom is absolutely not having it, and we're about to break down exactly why Ace's desperate attempt at relevance has backfired spectacularly, how Cierra's controversial exit changed the villa dynamics, and why this drama reveals way more about the accusers than the accused. Before we dive into this psychological warfare that's messier than Casa Amor drama, smash that subscribe button faster than Ace can backtrack on his problematic comments. My notification squad is looking emptier than Taylor's excuse list, so help your girl out because this tea is about to get scalding hot. Let's start with the interview that sent shockwaves through the entire Love Island community and had fans questioning everything they thought they knew about post-villa friendships. When Ace sat down with journalist Speedy Mormon for what became his most controversial media appearance, this wasn't some accidental slip during casual conversation. This was calculated, premeditated, and timed with surgical precision to cause maximum damage to people he once called friends. The way Ace structured his entire argument during that conversation reveals everything about his true motivations. He spent the opening moments painting himself as some moral authority figure, talking about integrity and authentic relationships in reality television. Classic manipulation tactics at their absolute finest. He positioned himself as the brave truth teller, willing to expose fake connections in the dating show world, someone courageously speaking up for authenticity in an industry full of manufactured romance. But then the mask completely slipped when he made those shocking claims about Nic supposedly confessing there's no romantic spark with Ola. The sheer audacity of weaponizing what he characterized as a private conversation between friends, knowing exactly how damaging those words would be to their relationship and public perception. This is the same man who spent weeks in that villa plotting against Ola, coaching other islanders on elimination strategies, and now wants us to believe he's suddenly concerned about her emotional well-being.
The timing wasn't coincidental either. This interview dropped right when Nicolandria was experiencing their biggest wave of positive publicity, securing magazine features and brand partnerships that clearly triggered something deep inside Ace's fragile ego. He watched Olandria transform from someone he tried to eliminate into one of the most successful cast members in Love Island USA history, and apparently that success became unbearable to witness. What makes this even more calculated is how he tried to maintain plausible deniability throughout the entire interview. He kept emphasizing his supposed respect for Olandria as a person, while simultaneously undermining her most important relationship. That's not friendship or authentic concern speaking. That's psychological manipulation disguised as honesty, designed to inflict maximum emotional damage while maintaining the appearance of being reasonable and supportive.
According to the reports that emerged after the interview, Ace claimed to have a lot of respect for Olandria, but alleged that Nic has no romantic spark for her, while supposedly admitting they find each other attractive. The contradictory nature of these statements reveals someone trying to have it both ways, claiming friendship while destroying the person's happiness through carefully planted doubt and speculation. Now let's talk about Taylor Williams' convenient silence during this entire controversy, because his role in this situation reveals the coordination behind what appears to be a systematic attack on Nicolandria's credibility. While Ace was out there making explosive accusations and facing all the public backlash, Taylor remained strategically quiet, letting his former Villa ally take all the heat while still benefiting from any potential damage to their reputation.
This pattern isn't new for Taylor either. Throughout Love Island USA Season 7, we consistently saw him making calculated moves that prioritized his own survival over authentic connections or genuine friendships. Remember his coupling decisions that left multiple women confused about his actual intentions? His ability to switch sides whenever it benefited his position in the Villa hierarchy? The way he managed to avoid elimination by playing multiple angles simultaneously while other contestants got sent home for being authentic? That same strategic mindset is clearly operating in this post-Villa drama. By staying silent while Ace makes the controversial statements, Taylor gets to distance himself from the immediate backlash, while still maintaining his connections to both sides of the conflict. It's politically savvy, but emotionally cowardly, especially when it involves people who trusted him during their most vulnerable moments in the Villa environment.
The most telling aspect of Taylor's silence is what it reveals about the planning behind Ace's interview. Real friends don't coordinate public attacks on former castmates who are thriving in their post-Villa lives. Real friends don't strategize about the best ways to undermine someone's relationship for content creation and social media engagement. The fact that these two men, who spent so much time together plotting in the Villa, are now handling this controversy with such obvious coordination, exposes the calculated nature of their entire approach to fame. What's particularly interesting is how Ace admitted during the interview that he does feel Taylor Williams and Clark Carraway's relationship is real, while simultaneously questioning Nicolandria's authenticity. The selective nature of his skepticism reveals the personal vendetta operating beneath his claims of caring about truth and authenticity in reality television relationships. Let's dive into the Villa flashbacks that make Ace's current behavior even more problematic, because understanding the context of their actual relationships changes everything about this controversy. During Love Island USA Season 7, we witnessed Ace consistently working against Olandria's interests, viewing her as a threat to his own strategic positioning rather than building any genuine friendship or alliance that would justify his current claims of concern. Remember those elimination ceremonies where Ace was actively coaching other Islanders on voting strategies? He spent considerable time and energy trying to orchestrate Olandria's departure from the Villa, convinced that removing her would benefit his own chances of success with various women and his overall standing in the competition. This wasn't subtle gameplay either. He was openly discussing his desire to see certain people eliminated, creating alliance networks specifically designed to target contestants he viewed as obstacles to his personal goals.
The irony of his current claims about caring for Olandria's well-being is absolutely staggering when you remember how he treated her during the actual filming process. He viewed her as an obstacle to overcome rather than a person deserving of respect, friendship, and genuine support during their shared reality TV experience. His Villa strategy consistently involved undermining her connections with other Islanders and questioning her authenticity with anyone who would listen to his strategic advice. But then something completely unexpected happened that derailed his entire master plan and exposed his true character to everyone watching the season unfold. When his elimination schemes were exposed and his manipulative gameplay became obvious to other contestants, suddenly Ace found himself on the defensive, rather than controlling the narrative like he'd planned throughout his time in the Villa.
Instead of owning his strategic decisions and moving forward with grace and maturity, he doubled down on his negative feelings toward the people who had outmaneuvered him and succeeded where his plans had failed. This Villa history makes his current interview even more disturbing because it reveals a pattern of behavior that extends far beyond typical reality TV drama and strategic gameplay. Ace has never been able to accept that his strategies failed and that other people succeeded where he couldn't manage to build lasting connections or achieve the fame he was seeking through the show.
His current attacks on Nicolandria represent an extension of the same competitive jealousy that drove his villa behavior, except now he's using public platforms and media interviews instead of elimination ceremonies to continue his campaign against their happiness and success. Quick reminder to hit that subscribe button if you're enjoying this deep dive into Love Island USA Season 7 psychology. My subscriber count needs more love than Ace's reputation after that podcast disaster, so don't leave me hanging while we uncover all these receipts. Speaking of success, let's examine exactly why Ace's jealousy has reached such toxic levels, because the contrast between his post-villa trajectory and Olandria's achievements tells the complete story of what's really motivating this calculated attack on their relationship. Since leaving Love Island USA Season 7, Olandria has become something bigger than the show itself, transcending typical reality TV fame to build something meaningful and lasting with her platform and opportunities. She's graced magazine covers, secured lucrative brand partnerships with major companies, and cultivated a devoted fan base that genuinely cares about her well-being beyond her dating show connections and romantic relationships. Her social media presence radiates positivity and authenticity, attracting opportunities that extend far beyond the Love Island ecosystem and into mainstream entertainment and lifestyle branding. She's become an inspiration to viewers who watched her navigate villa politics with grace and dignity, handling rejection, manipulation, and strategic gameplay without losing her authentic personality or treating others with disrespect. Her success represents something that resonates with audiences who appreciate genuine people succeeding in artificial environments designed to create drama and conflict. Meanwhile, the only time Ace manages to trend on social media is when he's starting unnecessary drama or making controversial statements about former castmates who are thriving in their post-villa lives. His most viral moments consistently come from throwing shade at successful couples rather than building anything positive from his own Love Island USA experience and the platform it provided him. Instead of leveraging his reality TV platform for constructive purposes, career development, or positive content creation, he's chosen to make his former villa relationships into content for personal gain and relevance maintenance. The contrast reveals everything about their respective character, priorities, and long-term thinking about fame and success in the entertainment industry. This pattern of behavior suggests that Ace views success as a zero-sum game, where other people's achievements somehow diminish his own opportunities for fame, brand deals, and social media engagement. Instead of celebrating former castmates who are thriving or finding ways to collaborate and support each other in their various business ventures, he's chosen competition and conflict as his primary engagement strategy with the Love Island community. The psychological toll this approach takes on everyone involved, including Ace himself, cannot be understated when we consider the long-term effects of maintaining negative relationships and grudges from reality TV experiences. Constantly focusing on negative emotions and past grievances prevents personal growth, authentic happiness, and the kind of mental health stability that successful people need to maintain their careers and relationships. It also damages relationships and burns bridges that could have been valuable both personally and professionally as everyone navigates their post-villa careers in entertainment, social media, and various business opportunities that come from reality TV fame and recognition. Now, let's examine how Nic and Olandria have responded to this coordinated attack, because their reaction reveals the stark difference between mature adults handling conflict and people desperately seeking attention through manufactured controversy and drama creation. Instead of engaging in public feuds or responding with equally inflammatory statements that would fuel additional content, Nicolandria chose dignity and class in their response strategy. According to multiple reports from entertainment outlets covering the controversy, they addressed Ace's comments with what fans described as major side-eye, acknowledging the situation without giving it more energy than it deserved or feeding into the drama cycle that was clearly designed to generate ongoing content and engagement. This approach demonstrates emotional intelligence and media savvy that clearly frustrated their accusers, who were obviously hoping for a more dramatic response that would fuel additional content creation opportunities and social media engagement. Nic specifically addressed his mental health following the controversy, showing vulnerability and authenticity that stands in sharp contrast to the calculated nature of the attacks against him and Olandria. Rather than pretending the situation didn't affect him emotionally or responding with anger and defensive statements, he chose transparency about the emotional impact while maintaining his dignity throughout the entire process.
This mature response strategy has only strengthened their fan base and attracted new supporters who recognize authentic class when they see it in the often toxic world of reality TV drama and social media feuds. The Love Island community has rallied around Nicolandria with protective energy that's been heartwarming to witness, creating a support network that's far more valuable than any temporary publicity generated by manufactured drama and controversy. Their approach also reveals confidence in their relationship and individual achievements that doesn't require public validation or defensive responses to every criticism and attack from former castmates seeking relevance. When you're secure in your connections and accomplishments, desperate attempts at relevance from former associates become background noise rather than threats requiring immediate response and engagement.
The contrast between their measured, dignified response and the inflammatory nature of the original accusations has made the motivations behind this controversy even more transparent to observers and fans who are experienced in recognizing authentic versus manufactured drama in the reality TV space. But this situation represents something significantly larger than typical Love Island drama, and we need to address the cultural implications of what's happening here that extend beyond individual personality conflicts or dating show politics. Olandria is a Black woman who entered that villa knowing she would face additional layers of scrutiny and skepticism that other contestants might never encounter during their reality TV journey and post-show career development.
She successfully navigated harassment from online trolls, constant questioning of her authenticity by viewers who applied different standards to Black women in predominantly white entertainment spaces, and relentless speculation about every aspect of her personality, romantic connections, and motivations for being on the show. Instead of her former villa acquaintances working to ease the unfair burden she carries as a Black woman in reality television, they've deliberately chosen to add to it with calculated public attacks and undermining statements. This dynamic extends far beyond individual personality conflicts or typical reality TV drama into broader cultural patterns that affect how Black women are treated in entertainment industries, social media spaces, and public discourse. When someone who already faces unique challenges based on their identity is targeted by people who should understand those struggles from their shared villa experience, it represents a deeper failure of community, solidarity, and basic human decency.
The fans who consistently defend Nicolandria understand this context perfectly, which is why their support goes beyond typical couple stand behavior and represents something more meaningful about protecting people who face disproportionate criticism and harassment. They're actively supporting the principle that Black women deserve loyalty, protection, and celebration of their achievements without constant questioning of their authenticity, worthiness of success, or right to happiness and love. What makes this cultural dimension even more problematic is how Ace has weaponized his platform to add ammunition to existing online harassment that Olandria was already facing from anonymous trolls and dating show critics who apply racist double standards. Instead of using his voice to counteract that negativity and protect someone from his villa family, he's chosen to fuel it with what he characterizes as insider information, giving credibility to attacks that were previously easier to dismiss as jealousy or prejudice.
The responsibility that comes with reality TV platforms includes understanding how your words affect people who are already vulnerable to public scrutiny. especially when that scrutiny is influenced by racism, sexism, and other forms of discrimination that make the entertainment industry particularly challenging for marginalized people. But the drama gets even deeper, because Ace didn't stop at questioning Nicolandria's authenticity. According to reports, he also made explosive allegations about production manipulation that add another troubling layer to this entire controversy. During the same interview where he attacked their relationship, Ace allegedly claimed that producers forced Taylor Williams to pursue Olandria, suggesting their entire connection was manufactured by the show rather than organic attraction.
These production allegations represent a serious escalation that goes beyond typical post-philodrama into accusations of manipulation that could affect how viewers perceive not just individual contestants, but the entire show's authenticity. If true, they suggest a level of producer interference that would fundamentally change how we understand the relationships and connections that developed during Love Island USA Season 7. According to sources covering the interview, Ace allegedly stated that Taylor had no other choice but to pursue Olandria, implying that producers were directing his romantic decisions rather than allowing natural attraction and connection to develop organically. He reportedly described Olandria as his dog, while claiming she was manipulated by production into believing Taylor's interest was genuine when it was actually forced by the show's creators.
These allegations, if accurate, paint a picture of behind-the-scenes manipulation that would be devastating for everyone involved, particularly Olandria, who would have been unaware that her emotional investment was based on producer-directed gameplay rather than authentic romantic interest. The timing of these revelations, coming during an already controversial interview designed to undermine successful couples, raises questions about motivation and credibility. The fact that Ace chose to make these production claims while simultaneously attacking Nicolandria's relationship creates a pattern of behavior focused on destroying other people's happiness and success rather than protecting anyone from alleged manipulation. If his concern was genuinely about production interference and protecting Olandria from emotional harm, why wait until after attacking her current relationship to reveal this information?
This pattern suggests that the production allegations may be another calculated attempt to stay relevant through controversy rather than genuine concern about manipulation or protecting former castmates from emotional harm. Real protection would have involved addressing these issues privately or supporting Olandria through the alleged manipulation, rather than using it as ammunition in a public attack months later. One more subscribe reminder, because we're reaching the finale of this analysis and you don't want to miss future breakdowns of reality TV drama. My notification bell is feeling more neglected than Ace's moral compass, so show some love while we wrap up this explosive situation. As we reach the conclusion of this entire saga, it's important to understand what this controversy ultimately reveals about authenticity versus performance in the reality TV space, and how it affects real people's lives and mental health. Real friendship doesn't require public validation or dramatic gestures to prove its worth or authenticity. It shows up consistently in private moments, during difficult times, and through actions, rather than carefully crafted social media statements or explosive interviews.
What Ace and Taylor have demonstrated through their handling of this situation isn't friendship at all, despite their claims of caring about former castmates' well-being and protecting people from fake relationships. It's transactional relationships masquerading as loyalty, ego protection disguised as honesty, and personal vendettas disguised as authentic concern for others' happiness and emotional well-being. They've revealed that their connections to other villa residents were always conditional on those people staying within artificial limitations they'd created in their minds about success, fame, and post-villa opportunities. When Olandria exceeded those expectations and achieved success they couldn't control, claim credit for, or benefit from, their true colors emerged completely, and the mask slipped to reveal psychological manipulation
operating beneath surface-level friendship claims.
The Love Island USA Season 7 experience has taught valuable lessons about recognizing genuine friendship versus performative loyalty in high-pressure environments where everyone is competing for the same prizes, opportunities, and public attention. It's shown how success can reveal people's authentic character, how jealousy can transform former allies into enemies, and how important it becomes to choose your inner circle carefully based on consistent actions rather than shared experiences or convenient words. For viewers and future reality TV participants, this situation serves as a masterclass in identifying red flags in relationships and understanding the difference between strategic gameplay that respects boundaries and genuine human connection that extends beyond the cameras and competition. It demonstrates why protecting your energy and emotional well-being should always take priority over maintaining relationships that have become toxic, manipulative, or harmful to your mental health and success.
The broader entertainment industry should also take note of how this controversy is played out, because audiences are increasingly sophisticated in recognizing manufactured drama versus authentic conflict, strategic publicity moves versus genuine emotion, and real relationship dynamics versus content creation designed to generate engagement and relevance through controversy. Moving forward, the lasting impact of this situation will likely be measured not in temporary social media engagement, short-term publicity, or viral moments, but in how it affects the long-term careers, personal growth, and mental health of everyone involved. History suggests that authenticity, integrity, and genuine support for others create more sustainable success than controversy, manufactured drama, and calculated attacks on former friends. The Love Island fandom has spoken with crystal clarity through their continued support of Nicolandria, while other former castmates fade into irrelevance or struggle to maintain attention without creating drama. Sometimes the people's verdict tells the complete story better than any manufactured controversy ever could. And in this case, that verdict couldn't be more definitive about who deserves respect, support, and continued success.
Thank you for joining me on this comprehensive analysis of one of Love Island USA Season 7's most revealing post-villa controversies. The tea has been thoroughly examined, every receipt has been analyzed with forensic precision, and the truth about calculated betrayal, jealousy disguised as concern, and authentic friendship versus performative loyalty has been completely exposed for everyone to evaluate and understand. As we conclude this deep dive into reality TV psychology and post-villa drama, remember that real friendship shows up during difficult times, rather than creating additional obstacles for people trying to build positive lives after reality television. Choose your circle wisely. Protect your energy from those who don't deserve access to your vulnerability, and always prioritize authenticity and genuine support over temporary relevance gained through controversy and manufactured drama. The Love Island USA fandom has demonstrated that authentic love, genuine connection, and real friendship will always triumph over jealousy, manipulation, and calculated attacks designed to destroy other people's happiness for personal gain and social media engagement.